Video number 8. My name is Danielle Angela Flores-Koblinski. I am 29 years old, and this is the continuation of my online video diary. First of all, I have to acknowledge the fact that I was not born with this voice. I am not getting sick. I don't have allergies. I teach 7 days a week, and I get very excited when I teach, so I yell a lot. And the culmination of my years of teaching and getting excited have led me to this. What I committed to in the beginning was an entry a day, and little by little I realized that that was not going to be the reality of this project, only because the entries that I make have to be for me needed, if that makes sense. I'm not just going to list the things that I did in my day, even though that's what I would do in a written journal. But for me, this is more of, it has turned into a stream of consciousness, meaning I am just spitting out words as they come, word vomiting and whatnot. So I would normally have music in the background, and my last video entry got banned on YouTube for having a song that was copywritten and blah blah blah. So I don't know what songs are copywritten and what songs are not, so I'm gonna do it in silence. Wow, that's also weird. I was a little upset about that because I'm a person, my degree's in dance, I teach fitness. I feel like everything I do has to do with creativity and speaking my mind and showing my opinion of who I am. So having music in the background was my way of kind of, I don't know, showing my style and showing my freedom. And because I had one song that was a part of SME, which took a lot of figuring out for me. Don't you laugh, Sony Music Entertainment. If the song you want on your video as a background song is part of Sony Music Entertainment, your video gets blocked. And I'm not gonna argue with that. I mean, okay, whatever. And at the same time, like, Sony, wouldn't you feel honored to be on people's video diaries? I mean, I don't know, like, what's the issue? But I let that go, and so now we're in silence and you can hear everything exactly that I'm saying. So yeah, I decided to go from an entry a day to an entry when I felt so compelled to do so. And yesterday's entry was my heart pour for the past about 2 weeks. I'm not gonna try to recreate it. I'm not gonna try to repeat what I said, but a lot of what I am thinking about and going through right now, and what you may be thinking about and going through right now, is fear. And in one of my support groups, our guest speaker had a beautiful acronym for the word fear, and it was false evidence appearing to be reality. False evidence appearing to be reality. F-E-A-R, fear. And as many of us know, at least I hope we know, fear is in the mind of the beholder. Someone taught you how to be afraid of something. Someone said be afraid of this. You should be afraid of that, right? Who are the people that are fearless? Babies. They have no clue. They're absolutely fearless. And that is because as we grow up, fear is kind of instilled in us through certain situations, and whatever it may be. I'm not going to claim to know every part of that, but as I get older and as certain things happen in my life, the idea of fear is almost pushed away, right? I, Danielle Angela Flores Kublinski, am 29 years old. I am the daughter of a beautiful woman, of a really cool guy that I'm still trying to get to know. I'm also bisexual. I don't have a preference, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm also a really good fitness instructor, in my opinion. I'm confident in that. I'm also a really good transmitter of energy. And I learned that the energy that you have, that you convey, that you give is a big deal. You can make or break someone's day with your energy. So at this point in my life, being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at 28 and really being honest with my mother about who I really was and having her accept me fully, that's all I needed. That's all I really give two shits about. So I had a friend the other day and she said, "Are you afraid of anything? Like, are you afraid of anyone? Are you afraid of any?" And I said, no. And it's not in a cocky way. Not in a, I don't give a fuck everyone. No, I'm not afraid. That's different. My sense of fearlessness is, at this point in my life, what really do I have to lose? If I'm going in for a dance audition, a fitness audition, an interview, I know that two options are reality. No, which is kind of what we all walk into already, right? We're already kind of expecting no. But what if we went in expecting yes? There's two options, yes and no. And what I've learned is the no is the victory. The failure is the lesson. I'm pretty sure someone out there somewhere said this before I did. This is not rocket science, what I'm saying, but what came to me the other day, and I was talking to a friend about this, and I said, the only thing that I have failed at that I now realize is something I wasn't supposed to be doing. The only failed relationship in terms of friends, in terms of romantic partners, in terms of work relationships, in terms of anything, right? Those relationships that have failed for me, or that I thought I failed at, were situations and relationships that I wasn't even supposed to be in. The only thing that you will fail at is something that is not for you at this moment. And just like me, who needs to have a plan, who needs to have an answer, who needs to have a timeline, I'm not always going to get one. Someone cannot always tell me with 100% backing that this is this and this is this. And that's where change comes in, and learning to deal with change and learning to adapt with change. I'm a Leo, I'm a Latina, and I'm fucking feisty as fuck. And I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about what I don't do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who is going through some shit just like I was going through some shit, and she said, you know, how do I even measure up to the person that is coming in? And I was very offended for her that she asked me that. She said, how do I even measure up to that, DK? And I was like, why the fuck would you want to measure up? I need you to let go of that. That you are not this person. Why would you want to be this person? I don't care if this person is Gandhi, Madonna, Saint Teresa, the Virgin Mary. You were made in your own birthright to be who you are, to be what you are, for a very specific reason. So stop wanting to be like someone else. And then that took me to a different place, right? Like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I doing what I'm doing to please someone else, or am I doing what I'm doing because it makes me happy? And even deeper than that, am I not saying what I'm not saying because I'm afraid that if I use my voice, it's gonna get me in trouble? And here's my answer to that. If you're not part of the solution, you're still part of the problem. Because I can sit here and say, I will eat shit, I will put up with it. But if I'm still part of something that I don't believe in, what does that really say about where I'm coming from and the message that I'm sending? And the vibe that I want to leave on this earth when I'm dead and gone, right? When people think about me days, years, decades from now, what do I want them to say? That bitch was fearless and she dared to be fucking different. So the only thing that I can fail at is something that I'm not supposed to be doing. And acknowledging that and knowing that for myself is exactly what I need to keep going and to heal everything that's happened, and to keep reminding myself that I am not broken. I'm a little bent, but I'm not broken. And fuck, you can never be too epic. When I learn to use my voice, I can never be too epic. When everything that I do comes from my heart and is heartfelt and comes from a good intention, I and you can never be too epic. So what the fuck am I really afraid of? And what in the hell are we as humans really afraid of? It can't be failure.